We find out that Usher is the Super Bowl halftime act.
No!
Usher.
My people are excited about Usher. Yes, and by my people, I mean people who like Usher.
Oh,
You're excited about Usher?
I'm excited about
my people.
Usher.
Jacob, you excited about Usher?
Not really.
Not my people.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The first one we have here is this cactus plant flea market,
Nice.
Nike Flea 2 faded spruce shoe.
I like these. I don't know. It's just something about them. I just like.
They're not-
That looks good.
Okay,
I don't know.
Sherm.
Okay.
So,
Just walk me through
patches.
Sherm style. Like, what would you wear with these?
Sherm style. So I would definitely have to get some minimum LA fur pants with this, and just give me a little nice little oversized T-shirt.
The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
I thought maybe we should go around and talk about some G League alum that are playing in the NBA. And because we like the number 5, we're going to do top 5.
I think the clear winner here is Pascal Siakam.
Do
Right.
you? You think that's the clear
I mean,
winner?
he won a title in the G League, and I think he was the MVP, right, for playing for the Toronto 905. What are they called? 901.
905.
IMHO with Lang Whitaker and me, Kelsey Wright Johnson, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Ohio State at Notre Dame, and Notre Dame is a home dog.
But they're wearing green pants, which, my God, Under Armour, what are you doing to Notre Dame? The green jerseys are fine, but they wear the gold pants. They wear the gold domes. That Notre Dame should never not wear the gold pants.
The Odds Couple with Rob Fisher, Lang Whitaker, John Roser, and CJ Hurt, live Thursdays at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Grind City Media presents The Gary Parrish Show on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right, I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish. I am speaking to you from FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. Bennett Doyle, producer of the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope you didn't think Damian Lillard being traded to the Bucks would put an end to the Damian Lillard headlines, because it did not. Interesting story from Bleacher Report's Chris Haynes last night. It suggests that, like most divorces, this divorce between Dame and Portland got super messy. I'll walk you through it momentarily. We'll try to talk about it from every angle. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. When I finish the open, we're going to take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we'll discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, the Detroit Lions dominated the Packers in Green Bay last night on Thursday Night Football. Final score, Lions 34, Packers 20. That's a win for Big Bet Bennett. Detroit's 3-1, alone in first in the NFC North. We'll talk NFL in about 20 minutes. Bennett's Baltimore Orioles are your American League East champions for just the second time since 1997. For just the second time in more than a quarter century, the Orioles are your AL East champions. Wrapped it up last night. We'll celebrate the accomplishment in just a bit. Stupid Cubs lost to the awesome Braves for the 3rd straight time last night. So now the Cubs trail the Marlins for the final NL wild card with just 3 games left in the regular season. It ain't looking good. It ain't looking good. Get you updated on that wild card situation in the next segment. If you didn't already know that Curt Schilling is a terrible person, he proved it to you for the millionth time yesterday. We'll talk about what this guy did a little later on in the show. The United States got off to a rough, that's a hard thing to wake up to, Bennett.
Was it?
Yeah!
I guess so, yeah. I'm not invested in this thing.
You don't care.
No, I don't care.
You don't support your country.
I do, but I don't care about the Ryder Cup. We didn't even invent the sport.
We didn't even invent the sport.
Yeah, it's their sport.
It's their sport.
Of course they're beating us.
This anti-Ryder Cup sentiment, I didn't know it existed. I didn't know you were anti-Ryder Cup.
I'm kind of anti-Ryder Cup, I think.
You woke up to watch the FIBA World Cup in basketball.
That's right.
But you're anti-Ryder Cup?
I think I might be anti-Ryder Cup.
Jesus.
It just now hit me, but I think I might be anti-Ryder Cup.
Well, if this keeps going the way it's going, I might end up being anti-Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
United States down 4-0 after the first session. That's not good. That's not where you want to be. I'll get you updated on all things Ryder Cup, whether Bennett wants me to or not. We're going to do that during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's carry out and call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to. But I did want to start with the NBA because, as to be expected, since I last sat in this chair and talked with you yesterday from 10 to around 11:30, we have new/fresh reporting on how Damian Lillard's trade to Portland went down. In short, it got very messy. The big story, it comes from Chris Haynes at the Bleacher Report, who is and has been, let's just say it, very close to Damian Lillard for years.
Yeah, he breaks all the Dame news.
He breaks all the
right.
Dame news, right? He's reported in the past from Dame's home during the playoffs. He's just gotten one Damian Lillard scoop after another. So it's no surprise that Damian Lillard decided to give his side of the story, largely on the record, to Chris Haynes. Makes total sense. And the main takeaway from the piece is that, and this just might be true in most cases, it can be very difficult to divorce after 11 years together when emotions are involved and feelings are hurt. And that clearly is what happened here. Let me ask you, I don't mean to catch you off guard, did you read the Chris Haynes story?
I did, yes.
Okay. For people who haven't seen it, the story is an unapologetic, I think even Chris Haynes would tell you this, because I saw some people last night jumping on him a little bit. Like, oh, well, yeah,
he's just Damian Lillard's mouthpiece, right? That's what you're seeing.
When you have the person who is the centerpiece of the biggest story in sports willing to talk to you on the record, why would you not
right? Well, you can say,
quote him?
Oh, no, people are going to think that this is weird. Yeah, give me a break.
Listen, I don't know Chris Haynes. I've never met him. I gained nothing by defending him. But he did his job.
Agreed.
He doesn't try to pretend that this is fair and balanced. He just presents it as, this is what Damian Lillard says. This is Damian Lillard's version. Now, just like with any divorce, I promise you, if like Woj now gets the Portland version, it'll sound different.
It'll be a little bit different, yeah.
My experience in relationships that get messy is that there is almost always blame to go around, even if the people involved don't recognize it. I can't tell you how many times over the years, I probably could tell you. The number's smaller than the way I set that up just suggested. It's not like I'm out like counseling divorced couples all the time.
Right.
But I've had friends, you get older, Bennett, and some couples you thought were going to last forever, they don't. And I have friends who have gotten divorced, and I was friends with both of them. And I'm still friends with both of them. I just refuse to take sides. It's none of my business. Mm-hmm. I find them both to be good people who probably were just in a bad marriage or whatever. But my point is this. I've talked to, in many cases, both sides of it. I've talked to the husband. So what happened? How you doing? First, how are you doing? What happened? And then you talk to the wife, and you get two somewhat similar but largely different versions of events. And everybody always has a rationalization. Not everybody and not always, but lots of times people have a rational, well, I only did this because of this. And well, I only did this because of this. And well, yeah, the thing you have to understand about that, my point is this, if you walk away from the husband, you'll go, God, I feel like you got a bad shake in this deal. And then if you go talk to the wife, you'll think the exact same thing about her. And the truth is somewhere in there, but it's not entirely the version that the husband presented or the version that the wife presented. I think that is normally true. And that is precisely what this is, I guarantee you. And Chris Haynes doesn't apologize for it, nor does he need to. He gave you Damian Lillard's version because Damian Lillard will talk to him on the record and candidly. The Portland front office won't, I assume.
Right.
So he's going to go give you this story, and then somebody else will give you the Portland story. Ramona Shelburne. Let's take a guess. I'm going to go with Ramona Shelburne. Somebody else is going to give you the Portland version, and then we'll sort through it. But I didn't really understand the pushback on Chris Haynes. He's just doing his job. Yep. He didn't say this is a fair and balanced account of everything that's happened between Portland and Damian Lillard. The entire premise of the story is, here's how Damian Lillard feels. Here's why he feels this way. Here's what he says happened. That's the story. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's an unapologetic breakdown from Damian Lillard's perspective, but that's all it was ever supposed to be. And from Damian Lillard's perspective, it details how we got to this point where this future Naismith Memorial Hall of Famer was traded earlier this week from Portland to Milwaukee. Obviously, I think most people know who follow the NBA even a little, understand that this thing had been teetering for a while. Will he stay in Portland? Will he ask for a trade? And in fairness to Dame, he had always said his preference was to remain in Portland as long as the franchise was doing its best to put a team that can win now on the floor around him. So that's the backdrop of this entire thing. That's where all of this starts. I do think it's important to understand where all of this starts so that you can properly understand how we got to where we are now. It all starts right there. Damian Lillard is an all-time great. He is also a player whose prime is happening right in the middle of what is routinely labeled as a ring culture. You can be the best basketball player in the world, but if you ain't got a ring, you're a failure. Mm-hmm. That's why LeBron went to Miami. It's why KD went to Golden State. They got tired of hearing, yeah, but he can't win it all. They said, watch this. I can't win it all? I'm going to grab D-Wade and Chris Bosh. We're going to go win it all in Miami. Oh, I can't win it all? KD can't win it all? Well, I'm going to go play with Steph and Draymond and Clay. I bet you I can. The entire reason LeBron James went to Miami and Kevin Durant went to Golden State is because they are all-time great players who get told they ain't shit because they ain't won a title. So they say, I'll go win my titles. So you have to understand the world we're living in now as it relates to the NBA, and then understand who Damian Lillard is. Rookie of the Year, 7-time NBA All-Star, 7-time All-NBA. He was on the 75th anniversary team, one of the best 75 players of all time. He's an all-time great who's now 33 years old. He's running out of time to get that ring. He wants a title badly, but he also wants to stay in Portland, preferably. So his preference is for Portland to go all in right now to try to contend. That's where we were. That's where we were all last season, deep into the season. We don't know where this thing is headed, but Damian Lillard has made it clear he would like for Portland to try. Not either do it, either we win a championship or I'm leaving, but hey, just show me you're trying to win a championship. And if you can do that, I'm cool here. This is where I want to be. That's where we were. So with this in mind, and this is the first place where I think it gets a little, you can actually say, according to the reporting, you can actually say, ooh, I don't like this. At least this is the first place where I go, this is where I think somebody wronged the other side. According to the story, and for the sake of this conversation, let's just accept this as true, because it strikes me as true. Sounds like something that would be true. Mm. The Blazers reportedly, and I thought this was the most interesting thing in the whole story, the Blazers reportedly approached Damian Lillard late last season, and they asked him. They said, can you sit out the final 10 games of the season? We're trying to increase our lottery odds. That's easier to do without you on the court. So if you sit out, we should get a better pick. And the better pick, the more it's worth when we flip the pick for a veteran who can help you now. According to Chris Haynes, according to Damian Lillard, that's what Portland told Damian Lillard late last season. There's 10 games left in the regular season. He wants to play. He's a basketball player. You know, he's scoring points and like building career stats. He wants to play. He don't want to sit out 10 games. Mm. But they said, Dame, you got to think big picture. We're out of the playoffs. You say you want us to put a contender around you. The best way for us to do that is to get the best pick we can get. The best way to get the best pick we can get is to increase our lottery odds, and that requires us to lose. And if you play, we're less likely to lose. So take the rest of the season off. Let us increase our lottery odds. Let us get the best pick we can get, and then we can flip that pick to get somebody who can help you now. Reluctantly, Damian Lillard says, okay, I get it. And he set the final 10 games of the regular season with a, quote, calf injury. After the Blazers said, we don't want you to play because we want to increase our lottery odds to get a more valuable pick. And with that pick, we can flip it to get a veteran for you. The Blazers went 1-9 in that stretch, final 10 games. They got the number 3 pick in the draft. It worked perfectly. And then do you remember what Portland did?
Drafted Scoot.
They drafted a teenager who plays Damian Lillard's position and then opted to keep him rather than move him for a veteran to help Dame. That's very similar to what happened in Green Bay a few years ago.
It is.
Aaron Rodgers is saying, I'm an all-time great. This is where I want to be, but you've got to get me some help. And then they went out in Green Bay and they spent a first-round pick, not only not on help, but to the least valuable person to Aaron Rodgers, which is a backup quarterback. They spent a first-round pick on Jordan Love. Like, you could have spent a first-round pick on a punter, and that helps Aaron Rodgers more than Jordan Love does. Mm-hmm. So if you're Aaron Rodgers, like, hey, people say maybe I should look to leave, but I don't want to. Just give me some help, and let's try to do this thing here. And you say, we hear you, Aaron. We're drafting a quarterback. That was the beginning of the end.
Right.
This is very similar. Imagine if you're Damian Lillard. I'm healthy. I want to play. I tell you I want to be here if you get me a contender. You tell me we need you not to play even though you want to because we've got to increase our lottery odds. We get a great pick. We can flip it for a veteran to help you now. Reluctantly, you say, okay, I got it. Thinking big picture. I'll sit out the rest of the season. Then they go draft a teenager who plays your position and they don't flip him. Let's stop here. Can we agree? That's not okay. And let me also say this. I'm sure Portland has its side of the story.
Right.
They'll say, well, we never promised or said there's something in there, right? But like if you just take
or they're going to what I think they're going to say is we knew he was going to leave regardless.
They might say that.
They might say
that. You're basing what you think off of what he said publicly. Yes, he said publicly, if all you guys do is build a contender, I'll stay here. But he's had one foot out the door for a year.
Right.
All right. Again, but if you take this story at face value, I don't think you can go to somebody, tell your franchise player, if you sit out the last 10 games, that's helpful for us to get a better pick, and then we'll take that pick and we'll flip it for a veteran to help you now.
Right.
I don't think you can say that. If they did indeed say that, and then take a 19-year-old who plays the same position as you and then say we're just keeping the 19-year-old. Because that is guaranteed to do what happened next.
Yep. Which
is Damian Lillard say, I want to trade. And everything that happened after that happened because of that. I genuinely believe Damian Lillard, if that story is true, has a right to be upset about that. But then he complicated the entire process. If you want to turn this into a 6-year-old argument, I do think as it pertains to the bad feelings, if we take that first story as is, Portland pushed it to a place where you're never coming back from it. By telling him, if you sit out, we'll get the best pick we can get, and then we will flip that for somebody who can help you now. And then they quite literally did not do that. I think that's where the feelings finally get to a place where we're not going to recover from this. Portland, by doing that, more or less sent Damian Lillard into the same spot where Aaron Rodgers got with Green Bay. Once that happened, the rest of this stuff was always going to happen. Mm-hmm. But what is also fair, I think, to say is that Damian Lillard did not help this process because he didn't just say, I see what you're doing. You drafted a teenager. That ain't going to help me now. He plays my position. That's not ideal. I guess now it's time to trade me. Instead, what he said is, I want to be traded, but only to Miami. Well, that's an incredible thing to put on a franchise. It immediately depresses the market. And then, as Portland is trying to find whatever deal it could maybe find, Aaron Goodwin, Dame's agent, tries to depress the market even more. Even more. He's basically, and he has admitted this, called around the league and told everybody. Like, he might have called the Grizzlies and just said, hey, I don't even know if you're interested in Damian Lillard. Seems like you probably wouldn't be. But just know, if you trade for him, he will not be happy. And he will just come there and demand another trade the same way he's demanding a trade in Portland. You don't want to get involved in this. The agent was doing this so much that the NBA got involved and said, you got to cut this out.
Right.
All right? I mean, there's Zoom calls, the whole deal. This thing is messy. So then, you know what Dame says? Because this is another part of the story. Dame says, would you believe they wouldn't even return my text messages? They stopped talking to me. The Portland front office stopped. Imagine. Damian Lillard can't get a text back from anybody who works for the Blazers.
Right.
That's what Damian Lillard says. So you hear that and you go, what? Like, that's not the way the NBA or any other professional sports league works. Your franchise player can't even get a text back? Nobody will take his call? That sounds crazy. In a vacuum, it does. But you know what Portland's side of that is? Of course we're not talking to him anymore. If he knows we're working on a deal with this team or this team or this team, his agent's going to be calling those teams. We don't want them knowing what we're doing anymore. So, yeah, we did stop communicating with Damian Lillard because we can't afford for him to know what we're trying to do. Because once he knew we were trying to deal with Miami, his agent was depressing the market everywhere else. We need them in the dark now. Kind of understand that.
Yeah.
In a vacuum, I don't understand not returning a text from Damian Lillard. With context, kind of makes sense to me. So the Blazers stopped communicating with Dame. So then Dame's upset. Why are they not even talking to me? So then Damian Lillard reportedly, according to Chris Haynes, according to Damian Lillard, says he makes it clear to the Blazers that if you can't send me to Miami, I'll just come back. If you can't send me to Miami, I'll just stay in Portland. And you know what the Blazers reportedly said? No, you told us you wanted out. We're moving on. The thing that I find most interesting about every one of these little stories is that by themselves, they make the other side look bad. But when you provide context, it's like, I kind of get it.
Right.
Portland wants to move on, start a rebuild. I kind of get that. Damian Lillard doesn't want to be a part of a rebuild. I kind of get that. Damian Lillard watches NBA players like Anthony Davis, Carmelo Anthony, get Chris Paul, get wherever they want to get to. So he wants to be very specific. I've done 11 years in this league. I'm one of the 75 all-time greats. I'm a future Hall of Famer. If Anthony Davis and Chris Paul and Melo can all get what they want, why can't I get what I want? Send me to Miami. I get that in a vacuum. The Blazers saying, but Miami won't come off of anything.
Right. They're not giving us what we want.
And we don't even want Tyler Hero, and that's probably the best thing they're trying to give us. Mm-hmm. So we don't want to deal with Miami. You ready? I get that. Every little part of this makes sense if you provide the context. But if you try to make it too simple, like the Blazers wouldn't even return a text message from Damian Lillard, it sounds like everybody's wrong. Damian Lillard said, I'll only go to Miami. Context, bottom line this. Damian Lillard, Aaron Goodwin, the Blazers front office, everybody holds some blame here. I think everybody had a misstep. But it's hard for me to get too mad at anybody because everybody was just looking out for themselves. Everybody was trying to do the best thing for them. It's hard to get mad at somebody for I'm just trying to do what's best for me. Like, that's something people in their normal life say all the time. Mm-hmm. Hey, I'm just trying to do what's best for me. Hey, I'm just trying to do what's best for me and my family. In this scenario, saga, everybody's just trying to do what's best for them. Blazers are trying to do what's best for them. Dame's trying to do what's best for him. Aaron Goodwin's trying to do what's best for him. The Heat are trying to do what's best for them. Everybody's trying to do what's best for them. The problem, of course, is that when you are going through a divorce of this magnitude, and I know divorce is not a technical term for what we're talking about, but it's the best word to use. That's what this is. Mm-hmm. It was a divorce between two people who loved each other and decided they could no longer continue. It's a divorce. So I understand everybody doing what's best for themselves, but here's the thing I also understand. If when you are going through an emotional divorce, you are only looking out for yourself and unwilling to compromise in any way whatsoever, it's not going to be good for anybody. It's going to be messy for everybody. This one was. hurt feelings, bruised egos, resentment, even disdain. What happened between Damian Lillard and Portland is actually very similar to a divorce. If two people get divorced and all they care about is getting exactly what they want, nothing else matters, it's going to get messy. If you have kids, it gets bad for them. It's never easy, but it's much easier if there's compromise. And right from the jump, there was no compromise here. None. Ideally, everybody would have gotten in the same room and figured out ways to compromise from the jump. Damian Lillard could have said right from the jump, hey, listen, I know you've told me you want me here, but actions speak louder than words. I'm not upset, but we can talk adult to adult here. I've made it clear that I want you to prioritize now because I'm already 33 years old. And then you went out and drafted a teenager, and he might be better than I ever was. But that does not help me now, and you know it. So I'm ready to be traded. And if it matters to you, I would like for it to be Miami. I would prefer, like, everything I've put into this franchise. I know technically you owe me nothing. But I'm going to live here the rest of my life. I want to be sitting courtside someday and when I'm retired and feel good about this place. And I would feel I think I'd feel much better about it if you would just do your best. I know you have to do what's best for you. But if you could do your best to try to get to Miami, that's where I'd like to be. And if you can't, can we circle back and talk a little more and see where we're at? And then the Blazers could have said, you know what, that sounds totally reasonable. We have decided to move on. This is not what we envisioned. It's not even what we wanted, but this is where we're at. I believe that's what they call technical difficulties.
That is what they call it.
I think that's the term for it. Technical difficulties.
We're back.
Do you know what the technical difficulties were?
No.
Neither do I. I never know. I never know anything.
I know it's an internet issue because I saw that Ryder Cup cut off and say signal scrambled or something.
Well, we're back now. So as I was saying, and we'll get done with this because I'm ready to be done with it. There were better ways to handle this on both sides. I'm sure the truth is somewhere in the middle, but there were better ways for Portland and Dame there are better ways for them to handle it. Both sides could have done more or different things. But when everybody gets out for themselves, and this is the main point I was trying to make, when everybody is disconnecting from each other after a long relationship and nobody is interested in anything other than what matters to them, then that's a hard one to pull off. More often than not, nobody's going to feel satisfied after that. And it'll be messy along the way. Ultimately, though, I do think eventually everything will be fine. Front offices change. Whoever it is that made these decisions as it pertains to Damian Lillard, those people will be gone someday. And then you'll look up one day and he'll be retired, sitting courtside. They'll raise a banner to celebrate him someday in that building. And I would assume he'll get a standing ovation when he's back in Portland this season. The Bucks and Blazers play on November 26th in Milwaukee, and then Dame makes his return to Portland for the first time. That's scheduled for January 31st. Good reception?
Yeah.
I would think so.
I mean, he's beloved there.
I think people are maybe a little frustrated with how this went down, but by January 31st, people will largely be over it. Scoot will be, whatever he is. The Blazers will be in the middle of a rebuild. And I think there'll be very little negative reaction, if at all, to Damian Lillard. This will all be okay. I don't think anything that happened here is the type of thing that is going to damage a relationship between a franchise and the franchise's all-time best player. I don't think anything that happened here is the type of thing that will damage that relationship forever, but it has strained it. There's some hurt feelings, some bad feelings. And based on what we've found out over the past couple of days with the way this thing went down, there was always going to be. If you haven't seen the story, Chris Haynes got it. You can find it at bleacherreport.com. When we come back, turn our attention to the NFL. Detroit Lions dominated the Packers at Lambeau last night. Detroit fans celebrating inside the Packers Stadium postgame. You don't see that every day or even every year, maybe not even every decade. We'll talk NFL next. Gary Parrish Show, Grind City Media.
Don't put off getting your oil changed, Memphis. The Grizzlies' official partner. Take 5 oil changes faster than you think. There's no appointment needed. There isn't even a waiting room. Yep, you heard that correctly. Take 5 oil changes so fast you don't even have to get out of your car. You can take advantage of Take 5's fast, friendly, and simple service at any of their locations across the Memphis area. And remember, at Take 5, you stay in your car because they're faster than you think. That means you won't even have time to show off your perfect jump shot or your killer crossover. Take 5, the stay in your car 10-minute oil change.
Ohio State at Notre Dame, and Notre Dame is a home dog.
But they're wearing green pants, which, my God, Under Armour, what are you doing to Notre Dame? The green jerseys are fine, but they wear the gold pants. They wear the gold domes. That Notre Dame should never not wear the gold pants.
The Odds Couple with Rob Fisher, Lang Whitaker, John Roser, and CJ Hurt live Thursdays at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
I got to do sports 5 nights a week, live, an hour on national TV. Be happy. Find whatever happiness, whatever your definition is, and then hold on to it for dear life. Because when it leaves, you'll look back and go, God, man, we had that was awesome.
The Chris Vernon Show, presented by Caesars Sportsbook, live weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
You're going to watch them whether you love them or hate them or despise them. You're going to watch Colorado this season if you're an HBCU football fan, just because of the connection there. I'm going with the HBCU, the only HBCU in the FBS level.
Here we go with
Colorado.
Here we go with that.
Let's go Buffs. Sko Buffs.
Now, come on now. Come on, don't give them that title.
Sko Buffs.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
You know when a melty Sonic grilled cheese sounds so good, but so does a juicy burger topped with savory bacon and creamy peppercorn ranch? But then again, so does perfectly crispy tots or fries. And you couldn't possibly choose, cause brain no work too good when tummy empty. Yeah, us too. Sonic Bacon Peppercorn Ranch Grilled Cheeseburger with tots or fries for just $3.99. Tax not included, add-ons cost extra. Limited time only at participating Sonic drive-ins.
Welcome back. I don't know. Gary Parrish Show, Grind City Media. Technical difficulties. I think that's what they call it, Bennett. We're dealing with technical difficulties. So they say we're on right now, but
I believe we're up and running.
You think we're up and running?
Yep.
All right. I'll trust you. Here's 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
Detroit Lions dominated the Packers in Green Bay on Thursday night football. Final score, Lions 34, Packers 20. So Detroit's now 3-1, alone in first in the NFC North. Big Bet Bennett, Detroit Lions going to win the NFC North?
Yeah, I said they would at the beginning of the year. So, yeah.
Well, look at you. Look what you saw coming.
Mm-hmm. I knew they were about to take the step.
They're going to run away with the NFC North.
Yeah, easily.
Easily, you say.
Yeah, I mean, the Bears suck. They just got the win against the Packers.
Bears can't win. Vikings can't win.
Yeah,
and they just won at Green Bay. What's the problem?
Yeah, they'll get the Packers coming there. So, yeah, I think they're going to wrap this thing up like midseason.
Detroit is now minus 220 to win the NFC North. They have the 4th best odds to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. Did you have that pegged in the preseason?
No.
Well, Bennett, then what good are you as an NFL insider?
Right.
San Francisco plus 260, Philadelphia plus 320, Dallas plus 470, and then the lines at plus 850. Fourth best odds to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. That's a fun story. The Lions have not won a division since 1993. How old were you in 1993? 7?
Yeah, I think I was like 6 or 7.
You're like 6 or 7 last
Yep.
time the Lions won their division, and they are now the overwhelming favorite to do it. So good for them. I like seeing franchise, just like I like seeing the Orioles do well in baseball. I like seeing franchises that have historically struggled in the NFL have some good fortune. The Lions are doing that right now. Impressive performance Thursday Night Football.
Number 2.
Your Baltimore Orioles are the AL East champions for just the second time since 1997, Bennett. Did you celebrate? How did you?
Of course I did.
How'd you celebrate?
I just had a beer and watched the celebration.
Well,
Yep.
that sounds exciting.
It was great.
159 is the record now for the Orioles. It's the first time the Orioles have won 100 games since 1980. They're going to be the number 1 seed in the AL playoffs. The Rangers will likely be the 2 seed. So the Orioles are going to get a first-round bye, and then they're going to play, probably based on current projections, they would then play the winner of a best-of-3 series between the Rays and Blue Jays in what would be a 5-game series, best-of-5, in the NLDS. Do you realize the Orioles are not only going to be the 1 seed, because these things don't always line up, they're not only going to be the 1 seed in the American League playoffs, they are the favorite to win the American League.
I don't love that.
Plus 270 to win the American League.
Yeah.
If this goes the way the betting markets believe it will go, the 2023 World Series will be played between the Atlanta Braves and the Baltimore Orioles.
I would love that, actually. That would be fun.
I don't know if you want any part of that.
Well, I mean, I don't think I really have a choice. That's.
I'd at least look into it and see if you have a choice.
I don't think so.
I would want to see if you had a choice.
I'm just trying to get there first.
You just want to get there?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get there first.
Well, you're on your way.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I mean, this was it was a great celebration watching that last night at the ballpark, and it even came with the news that they just signed a new 30-year lease with Camden Yards. So, like, the Orioles are staying in Baltimore for a long time, which is great news. So it's good vibes all around in Baltimore and for the Orioles. I'm really excited about it, man. I mean, I think that winning the division, honestly, is like that may not matter as much to some franchises that have World Series aspirations, and the Orioles have that too, but winning that division is a massive deal. That is the hardest division in baseball, and maybe the hardest division in all of pro sports.
Oh, God, Bennett.
I mean, it really might be the toughest division in all of pro sports. What would be tougher?
The NL East. The Braves are awesome.
Yeah.
The Phillies were in the World Series last year.
Okay,
the
I'll give you
Mets
those.
sucked, but just had the highest payroll in baseball.
Yeah, but
history.
Okay, all right.
The Nationals won a World Series not too long ago.
And the AL East is a way.
And the Marlins are probably headed to the playoffs this year.
Historically, the AL East though is a way tougher division. I mean, dude, you've got.
I'll counter with the SEC West.
I mean,
what we once knew as the SEC West.
Yeah, I mean, you've still got Ole Miss and Mississippi State. Dude, literally the AL East, besides the Orioles, like if we're excluding this year, Yankees, Rays, Blue Jays, Red Sox, those teams are like always good. They're always good. They're always competing for world championships every year.
You know what? Who am I? Who am I to question you on a day like today? If you want to say the AL East is the toughest division in sports, it's fine with me. Congratulations on winning the toughest division in sports.
Thank you.
Happy for you, and I look forward to your postseason run, whatever that involves.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
Number 3.
The Cubs sure are stupid.
Yeah, they suck.
Man, what is going on with these guys? They can't beat anybody, especially the Braves. Lost to the Braves again, third straight time last night. So now Chicago trails the Marlins. These poor Cubs. They trail the Marlins for the final NL wild card with just 3 games left. They're a half game back. And they got 3 games left in the regular season, and the Marlins do own the tiebreaker. So that means They're not really a half game back with 3 games back. They're, for all intents and purposes, they're 1.5 games with 3 games back because tie goes to the Marlins. So you got to finish with a better record. And the Marlins, did you see this last night? Had their game suspended with the Mets with 4 outs left. They're in the top of the 9th. And it still hasn't stopped raining. New York's flooding.
Right. I've seen the
It's underwater.
It is
Part of New York is underwater.
Yep.
All right? Not good for baseball. So now that game is set to be completed, that Mets-Marlins game, on Monday if necessary, which stinks because the Cubs, this means the Cubs might not even know their postseason fate until Monday afternoon. Like, what if the Cubs, and I don't think this is the way it's going to go, but like, what if the Cubs go and win 3 straight in Milwaukee? There's nothing that's happened recently that suggests they're going to do that, but just play along. And I can tell you how this can get a little, I don't know, not ideal. Cubs go to Milwaukee, they win 3 straight. Finish 85-77. Okay? Meantime, the Marlins are in Pittsburgh. And let's say they win 2 of 3, at which point they're 84-77 with 4 outs left to play against the Mets on Monday afternoon. Go close that game out if you're the Marlins, and you're in the playoffs because you have an identical record, and you get the tiebreaker. You lose that game, you blow that lead in the 9th against the Mets, and the Cubs are in the playoffs. The Cubs might have to sit at home on Monday and watch the final 4 outs of a game between the Marlins and Mets before finding out whether they're in the NL playoffs or not. And I know the Cubs are frustrated by that, but it didn't have to be this way. They were 78-67 on September 11th. 11 games above 500 on September 11th. From that point, if they just played 500 baseball, just win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1. That's all you got to do. You're 11 games above 500, so you're better than win 1, lose 1. But that's all you got to do. Rest of the way, win 1, lose 1. Just play 500 ball the rest of the way. You get the second NL wild card with a big cushion. Not even sweating it. Already got it wrapped up. As it is, they're 4-10 in their past 14 games. Yes, they just got swept by the Braves. They haven't been playing well for a while. They're 4-10 in their last 14, and now their season's on life support. Always next year, I guess. I feel bad for the Cubs. They were right there.
They were right there. I mean, I feel like that it's probably is painful for Cubs fans. The thing is, though, is they weren't good to start the year at all. Like this kind of like hope for the postseason came very much in the middle of the season for them. So I feel like maybe it wouldn't hurt as much.
They weren't supposed. This isn't like
came out of nowhere.
This isn't like the Mets were supposed to be in the playoffs and they just bombed.
Right,
the Cubs were not supposed to be in the playoffs.
Exactly.
They have overachieved relative to expectations, but they've fallen apart late. I don't care what your preseason expectations were. Once you are 11 games above 500, once you're in it, you're in it. And then it's just like you blew it. Like you were in it and you blew it. Just play 500 ball from September 11th on and you're in, no problem. Now you got to go win 3 in Milwaukee. And yeah, you're probably not doing that. No. And because the Brewers are wouldn't the Brewers love to be responsible?
To ruin your season.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
So you're probably not doing that. Tough situation.
I know. It's almost like you probably would have rather played the Braves the last series because they may just mail it in totally.
They could have, right?
Yeah.
I don't know that they would have, but they
I
could
don't know
have.
if they would have.
Because there's first round buys for the best team and Acuna's chasing stats. And I don't mean inappropriately chasing stats. I mean, he's having an all-time great season. I'm sure he wants to maximize that, whatever it is. So they might not have laid down, but in theory, they could have. Yeah. The Brewers are going to want to bury you.
Yeah.
The Braves might have buried you just because they're awesome.
Because they're great, yeah.
But they don't really need to. They ain't going to be we ruined the Cubs. The Braves aren't sitting around last night we ruined the Cubs. They don't care. I mean, they might care to some degree, but the Brewers would care.
Mm-hmm.
The Braves, I don't know they care that much. But the Brewers would absolutely care. It's a tough situation for the Cubs.
Yeah.
Maybe always next season. Always next season.
Number 4.
Boy, I'll tell you who needed technical difficulties yesterday. Curt Schilling.
Why is that?
Do you know he has a podcast?
Not really. I mean,
he does.
I figured he had a.
You'll never guess where it's hosted.
Where?
Outkick.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Doesn't that make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense, yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. So Curt Schilling, all-time great pitcher.
Yeah.
All-time terrible person. but all-time great pitcher. I can separate the two. Incredible pitcher. Terrible person. And he's been reminding us this over and over again for years now.
He doesn't care. He does not care.
There's certainly no evidence that he cares.
Right.
All right. Did you hear what this guy did yesterday?
What? I vaguely.
Okay. So he's just doing his podcast.
Yeah.
Same way we're doing the podcast. And, oh boy, it would have been nice if he had technical difficulties, but he didn't.
What'd he do?
This is so out of bounds. It is amazing. Because when I first heard it, I was like, I just saw a tweet and it was like, oh, Curt Schilling's the worst. And I was like, what did this guy say this time? And then I'll just tell you what happened. Curt Schilling's doing his little podcast or big podcast. I don't know. Maybe it's the biggest podcast in the world. I don't know. And he says, hey, listen, I want to take a minute. I got something I need to say. I'm a man of faith. He's a man of faith. He says he believes in the power of prayer. So he says, I don't even know if I should do this. Because let me tell you, when I heard what he said, I said, oh, wow, he must not have known nobody knows. And he just said something. It's like, oh, yeah, nobody knows that. That must be it. Because nobody is so messed up to do this if you know the truth. And it turns out he admits. Here's what he says. He says, I don't even know if I should be talking about this because I don't know. You guys know Tim Wakefield, knuckleballer, right? Tim Wakefield. Mm-hmm. He goes, you guys play for the Red Sox, won championships. He says, you guys know Tim Wakefield, one of my former teammates. Love Tim Wakefield. I don't even know if I should say this because I don't even know if Tim has said anything about this. But I'm just going to say it because I believe in the power of prayer, and he needs prayers right now. I need you people praying for my former teammate, Tim Wakefield. So I don't even know if he's told anybody, and I don't know if I should tell anybody, but I believe in the power of prayer. And if nobody knows, then nobody's praying. If nobody's praying, well, then we don't have a power of prayer. So let me just tell you what's going on. Tim Wakefield has been diagnosed with a very aggressive form of brain cancer. Oh, and by the way, his wife is dealing with pancreatic cancer. They both got cancer right now, serious. They need your prayers. The Red Sox have to release a statement saying that we have talked to Tim and Stacey Wakefield, and they were enduring these life-altering situations privately and did not want anybody to know. We can confirm that this was shared without their permission or knowledge, and we'll have no other further comment at this time. How could you do that if you're Curt Schilling? That's like
because you're just a selfish person.
I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. I don't want to say there's no difference because there's an obvious difference, and we can talk about them if you want to waste more time. But like, everybody agrees you can't out somebody who doesn't want to be outed.
Right.
Right. Like if there was somebody who was working in here every day on the shows, and we knew they were gay but closeted, and they'd never come out for whatever reason. None of my business. If I just came on and was like, oh, so-and-so's gay, it'd be like, what? I would get fired over that.
Right.
And even more than that, I would be destroyed. Like, what are you doing? You know that's not okay. If this person wants to tell the world that, they will. But that's their thing. Sometimes people get diagnosed with cancer and they can't wait to put it on Facebook, and then that's up to them. Other times people get cancer and they don't want anybody to know. Black Panther?
Right. Privately, yeah.
Never told anybody. What if Michael B. Jordan would have just one day been like, oh, Black Panther's got cancer and he's dying?
Chadwick Boseman.
We call him Patrick. We call him Black Panther.
Yeah. Well, he is the Black Panther.
He is the Black Panther, for crying out loud. Like, if Michael B. Jordan said that, we'd be like, that's crazy. What are you doing? You can't do that. And then Curt Schilling just does this. Tim and Stacey Wakefield, like, imagine you're going through, two people, they got kids, both have very serious forms of cancer, it appears, according to Curt Schilling. That's hard enough. I'm not here to debate how you should deal with a cancer diagnosis. It's none of my business until I got to make that decision someday, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you want to put it out there for the world, if I see it, I'll hit the heart, you know? If you want to keep it private, that's fine too. It's none of my business. But if you decide, and I don't even know what's right and what's wrong. People handle things in different ways, right? But once you decide you want to handle this privately, it ain't your former teammate's job or even nothing to say that. And the thing is, he knew he shouldn't say it because he sets the whole thing up by saying, I don't even know if I should be saying this. So he knew you shouldn't be saying. If you ever say out loud, I don't know if I should be saying this.
You shouldn't say it.
You can say it if you want to, but it is evidence that it is something you should not be saying.
Right.
You know deep. If you ever start a story with, I don't know if I should be saying this, and then you continue the story, you should not have said that story. It might be harmless. It might not be a big deal. This happened to me a few months ago. I was talking to somebody, and just sort of one conversation led to another. And then I was like, oh, by the way, did you ever hear about so-and-so? You ever hear about, this person came up. And I was like, did you ever hear about this? And they're like, what? And I literally said, I don't know if I should say. And then I was like, it's just. And I tell this whole story. And as soon as I was done, you know what I said? I shouldn't have said that. It's none of my business. I shouldn't say that. That was just me gossiping. I shouldn't have said that. This person I was talking about, I know they wouldn't want other people to know what I just said. So why did I say that? It's got nothing to do with me. Why did I say that? Now, I just said that privately in a one-on-one conversation with somebody, and I still felt I felt like I was doing something wrong.
Right.
This is in front of the world. You know you shouldn't say it, and you say it anyway. What a terrible guy.
I think it's one of those things, too, where he has to know that. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's oblivious, but, dude, everyone's telling you you're a terrible person for this.
Everybody's been telling you you're a terrible person for a long time.
That's the thing. And I think he's just doesn't care. He doesn't care.
Did you see Jason Varitek's wife?
No, I did. Yeah, she said, F you, bro.
F you, Curt Schilling.
Yeah.
You should not have done that. Everybody knows you shouldn't have done that.
Of course.
And I went to his Twitter feed.
He doesn't care.
He didn't even, doesn't acknowledge it.
Doesn't care.
Doesn't even say, I'm sorry. I mean, if you were him, if I were advising him, I would say you got to really double down on this power of prayer thing, even though it sounds outrageous. Even though you were still wrong, you got to really double down on that. You need to release a statement and say, hey, listen, I didn't plan to talk about it. I just sort of got caught up in the moment. And I said something I knew I shouldn't have said. But it was rooted in a good place. You guys can all hate me if you want to.
Yeah.
I get it. I really just wanted my old teammate to be well, to be okay. And I genuinely do believe in the power of prayer. And so I just wanted as many of you praying for him as possible. And I know that might sound ridiculous to some people, and I know that's not a proper explanation for others. I got it. But I'm just telling you that's where I was at. I just want my teammate to be okay. He's got kids. You could maybe listen to that and go, maybe his heart was in the right place, even if he did something he should not have done. But to then just ignore it, to just be like, what happened. They'll say nothing. Doesn't care. Bad guy.
No, his heart's not in the right place. It's self-serving.
Doesn't even have a heart.
No.
Might not even have a heart.
Yeah, that's a bad dude.
He's a bad guy.
Yeah, he's a bad guy.
We've
known that, though, before this.
There's a reason he's not in the Hall of Fame, and it's not because he wasn't a great baseball player.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame-worthy baseball player. People just hate him.
Yeah.
Oh, you see Jeff Pearlman last night? Longtime baseball writer?
Mm-hmm.
He said, I've covered tons of assholes in my career. He said Barry Bonds, Will Clark. He listed a group of guys. He said these guys were just fun for sport. I mean, mean for sport. They were just mean to be mean. It isn't even one of those deals where you'd be like, why is Will Clark being a jerk? Well, because that's who he is. He's just being a jerk. To be a jerk. He just gets off on being mean, treating people poorly. That's who he is. Joe Perlman said, I've covered a lot of those guys. He named a lot of those guys. And he said, but by far, the one guy I covered who everybody hated, his own teammates, everybody. They're like, hey, he's a great pitcher. Hate the guy. Terrible guy. Can't stand the guy. The one guy by far, Jeff Perlman said, Curt Schilling.
Yeah, I believe it.
I think I'm going to believe it.
Yeah, I believe that.
Thoughts and prayers to the Wakefields.
For sure.
If you're the praying type, I mean, we already tied to this thing. So I guess we should follow through, you know?
Yeah.
What a sad deal.
Number 5.
United States got off to a rough start early today at the Ryder Cup. By the time I woke up, it's 4-0. The Europeans. And Bennett, you don't even care. The Americans are out there getting their asses handed to them.
Well, you
don't even care.
You know I'm a casual golf fan. Here's the problem with this. I don't know what's going on.
You don't even know that.
No, I don't know what's like. What the hell is a 2-up? What the hell is a 4-ball? I don't know what's happening. I looked at the screen for 5 seconds. I was just like, I can't. I don't know what's happening.
It is wild because if I say something like Jordan Spieth won 3 and 2, that sounds like it's another language.
Yes.
There's no way for you to know what that means. What is a 4-ball? Let's try to teach.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So 4-ball.
All right. Ask me.
What is 4-ball?
It's when you have 4 chances to get the ball on the green.
Buddy, you are a casual golf fan, aren't you? That's not what 4-ball means. Okay? 4-ball means, let's say, I'll just make up a couple of teams.
Yeah.
All right?
Okay.
Roy McIlroy and John Rahm are playing against Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas. That's not what's happening, but just play along.
I'm playing along. All right.
What 4-ball would mean is it 4 players? Follow me here.
Okay. All right. I got the 4.
Each player has 1 ball.
Uh-huh.
How many balls we got?
We got 4 balls.
4 balls.
Okay.
Everybody's going to play their own ball.
Mm-hmm.
So Jordan Spieth's going to go out and play. He's going to hit his tee shot wherever that goes. He's going to hit his next shot wherever that goes until it's in the hole. He's going to finish that hole.
Okay.
Justin Thomas going to do the same thing. John Rahm's going to do the same thing. Roy McIlroy's going to do the same thing. It's going to look very much like a normal golf tournament, just one person playing his own golf ball. And then
whoever wins that hole wins the 4-ball.
Bennett.
Oh, okay.
Bennett.
I'm trying to. Yeah. Okay.
Justin Thomas goes out on number 1 and gets a 4, but Jordan Spieth goes out and gets a 3. The American score is a 3. You take the better score from these 2 players, the better score from these 2 players, and that's your score for that hole.
Okay.
That's 4-ball.
So what's 2 up?
Okay. If you're 2 up, that means you're up 2 holes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That's easy.
That's easy,
Yeah.
right? You're up 2. You're
Yep.
up 2. You're 2 up. You're up 2 holes.
Yep.
All right? Right now, Europe is up 6-1 on the United States. It ain't looking good, Bennett.
No, it looks really bad. But I mean, dude, listen. They invented this thing. What are you going to do? They invented the game.
Beat them at the game.
It's their game.
I know. We could
They
beat them.
lend it to us.
Dr. James Naismith invented basketball.
I thought he was from like Ohio.
He is.
Yeah.
But put him on a court with LeBron James and see what happens.
Right.
I bet LeBron will whip his ass. Right? Right? LeBron could say, you invented this game, and now I'm going to destroy you at it.
Yeah.
All right?
That's true.
Why can't Scotty Scheffler do the same thing? Why can't Scotty Scheffler destroy the Europeans the way LeBron would destroy Dr. James Naismith?
I mean, dude, but
do you got an answer for that?
Well, it's like the same reason that like the U.S. soccer team can't beat any of the European teams.
Why not?
Because they invented the sport.
Damn it. So your position on this is that you can't beat the inventor of a sport.
Way longer.
You can't beat.
They got the secret juice.
See, here's the thing. They've been doing this way longer as a people, but like Victor Hovland hasn't been doing this way longer than Scotty Scheffler. I feel like whatever advantage the Europeans had by inventing the sport, we should have made up for that by now.
Oh, I mean, their bodies are adjusted to like the weather of the different courses.
They have a body adjustment advantage, is what you're suggesting.
Yeah.
Maybe they do.
Yeah, they were born into it.
They were born in it.
Yeah.
Maybe they were.
Born in it. Yeah, they have a unique advantage. Yeah.
Maybe they have a unique advantage. It's a tough. Hey, I don't want to say you couldn't have got off to a worse start, but it would have been hard. It'd have been hard for the United States to get off to a worse start.
Yeah, those 4-balls definitely looking bad for U.S. right now.
They don't. They're struggling with 4-balls.
Yeah.
But who wouldn't?
Who wouldn't?
Who wouldn't?
Yeah.
Who wouldn't struggle with 4-balls?
Right.
I mean, I could give you some names.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want some names?
No, I do not.
I could
Oh,
give
by
you-
the way, before we go to the break, I like your Black Crows shirt. Are you going to see them tonight?
I don't know. I would like
They're
to.
playing Memphis tonight.
Yeah.
The reason I asked,
I would like to.
So you're wearing the shirt because they're in Memphis, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, but you weren't going to go and wear the shirt to the concert.
No chance.
Okay, good. All right, I
You
just
can't-
wanted to clarify because
No.
I was going to be like, dude, don't do that.
I would not do that.
Okay, I know you wouldn't.
You know I'm better than
yeah,
that.
I know you're better than that.
No, if you see me at Memphis Fest tonight watching the Black Crows, I will not have a Black Crows shirt on.
Okay,
Can't
yeah,
do that.
Good.
What do you think I am, a nerd?
No,
You think I'm just a big nerd?
No, I don't.
You think I'm a big nerd?
No, but I mean, you went to WWE and wore a WWE shirt, so I was like, oh God, is he going to wear a concert tee to a concert?
I thought these were two different things.
They are two way different things.
I think you could wear WWE.
Of course you can.
To WWE.
Yeah. I just didn't want you to be confused.
Well, you made me feel self-conscious.
Okay. No, you of course can wear WWE.
You made me question myself.
No. That is totally acceptable. Wearing the band's T-shirt to a concert or act, yeah,
Bennett.
or artist, you don't wear their shirt to the actual concert.
Ben, do you think I'm a nerd?
No, I don't.
Then why are you talking to me about this?
I'm not. You have the shirt on and they're playing here tonight. That's
All
why
right.
I was like,
Do you know how quick-
before you make your way down to
Do you know
Radiant's
how
Amphitheater.
Do you know how quickly I can change my shirt? Do you know how quickly I can change a shirt? I mean, I've been changing shirts my whole life, Bennett.
Yeah.
Do you know how quickly I can take this off and put another one on?
Yeah.
You're worried about nothing. I wouldn't do that. I would
As
like.
a friend, I was just like flicking out.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the Black Crows?
Love
Love.
them.
I love the Black Crows.
Here's the thing. I'm not going. Listen, dude. Gone are the days of me going to like a 3-day festival.
You
Like
can't do
that's
that.
I can't. I'm gonna go to one day.
Yeah, do one day.
And
Yeah.
I think if I'm gonna go, it's gonna be tomorrow.
Was that My Morning Jacket?
And Dinosaur Jr.
Right.
That's who I really want to see because I've never seen them before. And I've seen the Black Crows multiple times. Although I really want to see them again because
I love Chris Robinson.
I think I don't know if they are at this show, but I think that like they've been playing Shake Your Moneymaker like all the way
I don't think
through.
that's what this is,
I
but
don't
they
think
did.
that's
They
what
did
this
do
is.
that
They
when they
did
got
that.
back together.
Okay,
They went out and
okay.
they played Shake Your Moneymaker, which was their massive album.
Yeah. The other thing too is Noah is for whatever reason really into Aerosmith right now. He freaking loves Aerosmith, and I like.
I don't even think my
like
kid.
I like
think,
Aerosmith.
I don't think my kids would have heard an Aerosmith song, would know anything about Aerosmith. None of my kids.
He's 4 years old. He freaking loves Aerosmith. So okay, and they're playing in Nashville in January. Black Crows are opening for him. So I'm like, okay, if we want to go, we could just see him there. Yeah.
I've seen the Black Crows a bunch of times too.
Yeah.
It's
gonna be. Hey, if you're going tonight, it's gonna be a great concert. It's gonna be great.
Because like people are a little shaky on the Black Crows. Some people are like,
I think they've kind of earned a little bit of legendary status.
Chris Robinson is a all-time great frontman.
What people will say about them, the casuals will say.
What will the casuals say?
Will say that first album is their best album, and nothing was as good after that. I disagree with that.
By the way,
I agree it's their best album.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
I'm not certain it's their best album. And even if it is, that's not unique to the Black Crows. Most people's best album is their first album.
First album, right. It's just, it is weird because don't you...
Ask most people what their favorite Kanye West album is. You know what they say? Most people? Right. I don't. Most people, College Dropout. First album.
First album.
Guns N' Roses.
But
Appetite.
Do you agree with me that you hear that about them? I feel like that I hear that about them
more
than other bands.
I would reject that.
Yeah. I reject it too.
I think at the very least, the first 3 albums are all quality.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
The Southern Harmony Musical Companion and Amorica.
Great one.
They're both great.
They're great. Yep.
The Black Crows made multiple very good albums.
Yep.
As a mostly traditional Southern rock band.
Yes.
They got into their little jam phase for a minute, but they're mostly at their core.
That era too.
At their core, I went back. So this week, I spent a lot of time in a car.
Yep.
A rental. I don't know if you heard, I got hit by a F-150.
I did hear he survived. He walked away. No scratches, nothing.
I'm good. So, a lot of time in a car, baseball practices and football practices and just, stuff.
Yep.
And this week, in anticipation of maybe seeing the Black Crows, I was like, I'm going to go back and listen to these albums. I still like them. I still like these songs. I still like these songs. And here's the other thing that I noticed. I bet I haven't listened to these albums in 20 years. All right?
Right.
I bet it's been at least 20 years since I've listened to any of those. You'll hear a Black Crows song here and there, but like put on the album, just listen, but it's been at least probably 25 years. I know every word. I still know every word.
Oh, yeah. They hit, man.
But I still can't get every word of Driver's License from Olivia Rodrigo. I heard that 50 times in the past year. Still can't get every word.
Right.
Haven't heard these Black Crow songs in 25 years, but I know every word.
Yeah.
Makes sense today. Is that just the way our brains work?
I think it is. I work completely. It's the same for me. No, man. Yeah, that they're going to put on a great show tonight. I might go. I don't know. I think I'm going to go tomorrow, though, instead.
I would like to go. If you could.
I don't think I could do 2 days.
If I could snap my fingers and just be there, it's just like boom, and I'm there, and then it's over, and I'm like boom, and I'm back home. I would do that.
Mm-hmm.
But the world don't work that way.
You
You got to actually like do stuff to get there. Yeah. I don't know if I want to do stuff today.
Right.
You know? Right. Been dealing with technical difficulties. I don't know if I want to do stuff.
We're back on.
I don't know if I want
to.
I don't know if I want to do stuff. But if I decide to do stuff and you decide to do stuff, maybe I'll see you there.
Okay. All right.
That's the best I can do right now.
Sounds good to me.
That's the best I can do. But I like Chris Robinson a lot.
Yep, I do too. I'm glad him and his brother are on good terms.
I'm glad they're on good terms.
Uh-huh.
Hate it when they weren't.
Yeah, that was sad.
Like it that they are. You should be on good terms with your brother.
Yeah, man.
I hate it when these bands, Oasis is another one.
Oh, yeah, they hate each other. Those brothers hate each other.
Hate each other.
Yeah.
Oasis was amazing. Brothers can't get along.
Yeah.
You'd be in one of the best bands in the world if you just get along with your brother.
I disagree, but
Oasis was great. They just were. I mean, you could like whatever.
They were fine. I agree. They were good.
The Gallagher brothers are hilarious.
I didn't mess with them all that much.
Is it Liam who's the crazier one?
Yes. I think Noel is the tamer one.
There's one of them that is,
I think.
One seems reasonable. Like, I don't know these guys, right? But one of them seems reasonable and the other one seems the most unreasonable. And I think it is Liam who is unreasonable and Noel Gallagher who is like kind of
a little more chill, maybe.
Yeah, like he's the if you got to talk to one of them, you'd rather talk to him. You know the Oasis storytellers story, right? So they get booked to do storytellers, like on MTV, Unplugged or something.
Yes,
Unplugged,
I know the
maybe. So they're rehearsing. Now we're just talking about shit from 30 years ago.
It's fine.
They're rehearsing for Unplugged or whatever, right? It was big back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And they said Liam Gallagher is like either not showing up for rehearsals or showing up just bombed every day. And every day it got a little worse. It was like on day one of rehearsals, he was there, but he was like not great, but it was like, and it just got progressively worse. He was just on a bender and it was bad. And they get to like day of and they're like, he ain't even here. We don't know if he's even gonna, even if he were here, it's probably not going to go well based on everything that's going to happen this week. Mm-hmm. But like, he's not even here. What are we going to do? Do we have to cancel? So Noel Gallagher steps up as the adult in the room. He says, listen, I'll just sing these songs. I mean, I can't sing them as well as my brother because if I could, I would be the main singer. But like, I can sing them. We'll just do this. We'll do Oasis without Liam Gallagher. It'd basically be like if the Beatles were about to do Unplugged and then John Lennon just didn't show up and McCartney's like, I guess we'll just do the Beatles without John Lennon. Uh-huh. That's where we're at. Uh-huh. Except McCartney's more talented than Noel Gallagher.
Yes.
All right. They start the show. Liam Gallagher's in the crowd. Mm-hmm. Drunk. Mm-hmm. Heckling his brother.
So good.
It's in bananas.
It's wild.
He's like, you can't sing these songs. He's heckling his brother. He bombed his brother's band and then heckled him from the rafters. All right? Those brothers still haven't gotten along. Far as I know.
No.
Last time I checked, they were still.
I think they're still having trouble.
They were still having trouble. Yeah. But Chris and Rich Robinson.
The Robinsons are doing good now.
They seem to be okay.
Yep.
I'm glad they're doing okay. I love Chris Robinson.
Yeah.
I love the way he claps and dances.
Yeah, me too.
It's a little Mick Jagger-ish.
Yep, it is very.
Chuck Klosterman. You know Chuck Klosterman?
Yeah.
Long time music writer.
Yeah.
He once called the Black Crowes. We're not just randomly talking about the Black Crowes. They are in town
tonight.
They're
playing tonight.
They're playing tonight. He called them the most accurate rated band in history. He said, everybody has overrated lists. Most overrated band in history. An underrated list. Most underrated band in history. The most accurate band in accurately rated band in history, he says, is the Black Crowes.
I buy that.
He says, because you know what? Everybody
likes them.
Everybody kind of likes them.
Yeah, nobody hates them.
Nobody like says they're the Beatles.
Right.
You know, nobody says they should be selling out stadiums. But like everybody kind of like you hear their songs and it's like, yeah, I kind of dig this a little bit. They had some songs I liked, some other stuff I didn't care for. Mm-hmm. Everybody has a pretty accurate rating of the Black Crowes. That's what Chuck Klosterman said. I buy it. I like them.
Me too.
Maybe
I will go tonight.
Maybe we will go.
Yeah, maybe I'll go tonight.
Maybe we will go.
Okay.
You know, it's up to us, Bennett.
Yeah.
We can do what we want.
Yeah.
Can't we do what we want?
We can do what we want.
Can you do what you want?
Not all the time.
But let's pretend we can.
Yeah.
Do what we want.
Yeah.
We'll do whatever we want.
Right.
All right, Bennett. If we want to go, we'll go. It's up to us. That's our decision to make, Bennett.
It's our decision.
Be back with GP's carry-on.
We find out that Usher is the Super Bowl halftime act.
No!
Usher.
My people are excited about Usher. Yes, and by my people, I mean people who like Usher.
Oh,
you're excited about Usher?
I'm excited about
my people.
Usher.
Jacob, you excited about Usher? Not really. Not my people.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Game number 1 at FedEx Forum, the home opener. The New Orleans Pelicans.
They've put New Orleans in the last couple of seasons in some key matchups, put them on national TV. They're trying to develop that rivalry between these two teams that are so close together.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
LifeCare Ambulance is proud to be an official partner of the Memphis Grizzlies and FedEx Forum. At LifeCare, they wear their hearts with pride. Their passion is their people. They want you to love what you do and where you do it. Their employee-driven culture encourages a healthy work-life balance and supportive work environment. They invest in your success and well-being so that you can provide the best care for the patients that they serve. Join the incredible team of EMTs and paramedics in Memphis, Nashville, and across the nation today. Learn more at lifecareamb.com.
I thought maybe we should go around and talk about some G League alum that are playing in the NBA. And because we like the number 5, we're going to do top 5.
I think the clear winner here is Pascal Siakam.
Do
right?
you? You think that's the clear winner?
I mean, he won a title in the G League. And I think he was the MVP, right? For playing for the Toronto 905. What are they called? 901?
905. IMHO with Lang Whitaker and me, Kelsey Wright Johnson, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
No matter what time of year it is, there's always something exciting happening at FedEx Forum in Memphis. And when you want tickets to the hottest concerts, sporting events, and more, you can find them at Ticketmaster. As the official marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and FedEx Forum, Ticketmaster has a wide selection of tickets available for all the events you can't miss. Check out what's happening at FedEx Forum and get tickets today at Ticketmaster.com.
I need to correct the record, Bennett Doyle.
What's up?
I have mischaracterized Chuck Klosterman's ranking of the most accurately rated bands of all time.
Okay.
The Black Crowes were not number 1 on that list.
What was number 1?
They were actually number 10, the Black Crowes.
Okay.
Accurately rated band of all time. Number 1 was Van Halen. Not the best band, the most accurately rated. Like, hey, the way people think about this band is actually the way people should think about this band. He says Van Halen, most accurately rated band of all time. Here's the description.
Yeah.
Here's what he wrote to back this up. He said, Van Halen should have been the biggest arena act of the early 1980s, and they were. They had the greatest guitar player of the 1980s, and everyone seems to agree. They switched singers and became semi-crappy, and nobody aggressively disputes that fact. They also recorded the most average song in rock history, And the Cradle Will Rock. What this means is that any song better than And the Cradle Will Rock is good, and any song worse than And the Cradle Will Rock is bad. If we were to rank every rock song in sequential order from best to worst, And the Cradle Will Rock would be right in the middle.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that, though. I don't know if I agree with them being the most accurately. I think people have like pretty strong convictions about how they feel about Van Halen.
How do you feel about Van Halen? Doesn't hold up to me.
No, they have some bangers. They do.
It feels when I listen to Van Halen, not that I do, but it feels like I'm listening to a very specific time and
era.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whereas if not that we're gonna get out of here, I promise.
No, it's
but
fine.
like if I listen to the Beatles, that doesn't sound like that's clearly from the '80s. Those songs could be made at any time. I really think.
Yeah.
I really think a lot of maybe not the early Beatles stuff. That does sound a little bit like an era, but as the Beatles progressed, I think those albums could be made any time, and they would be what they are.
I think so too.
I think there are certain things that sound of a time. Van Halen to me sounds of a time.
Yeah. I mean, also, like, again, no disrespect because I like a lot of their music, but like David Lee Roth, like, good frontman, not like the best vocalist, not even a great vocalist,
But a great frontman.
A good frontman, yeah. Yeah.
Sammy Hagar, downgrade, clearly. Everybody agrees.
It was a downgrade.
Everybody agrees.
Yeah. I liked Montrose, though, but it was a downgrade.
Van Halen, most accurately rated band of all time, according to Chuck. The Beatles were on the list at number 4.
Okay.
Here's what he wrote about the Beatles. The Beatles are generally seen as the single most important rock band of all time because they wrote all of the best songs. Since both of these facts are true, the Beatles are rated properly. The Beatles are rated properly according to Chuck Klosterman because everybody says that's the best band with most of the best songs. Mm-hmm. And he's like, yeah, that's right. That's true. You've accurately rated the Beatles. Who am I to argue?
Who was number 2?
The New Radicals.
What? Okay. I mean, nobody gives a crap. Sorry.
Blue Oyster Cult was number 3.
Okay.
My Bloody Valentine's on the list. Tone Loc.
All right.
Accurately rated. Tone Loc. You want to see what he says about Tone Loc?
Tone Loc saying Wild Thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody really takes Tone Loc seriously. This is why he's accurately rated. Mm. He's telling you why he's accurately rated. Nobody really takes Tone Loc seriously except for frivolous pop historians who like to credit him for making suburban white kids listen to rap music that was made by black people. Well, that's a hell of a way to start. Jeez. Let's take it down a notch, Chuck. The lukewarm historical significance strikes me as sensible. Neither of Mr. Loc's hits are timeless, although Wild Thing samples Van Halen's.
It does.
Jamie's Crying. And Funky Cole Medina samples Christine 16.
I love that song. Kiss.
Yeah, this is long. I'm not going to read all this.
Yeah, that's fine. We've
a
gone
lot.
way
That's
too
more
far.
than we should be talking about Tone Loc, if we're being honest. That's probably more than we should be talking about. I think we probably talked more about Tone Loc today than anybody else.
Yeah,
you know?
I think so too. Yeah. All right.
It's GP's carryout.
Yeah, let's do GP's carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we learn today?
I mean, whole bunch of stuff. But the main thing we focused on in the first hour, the Damian Lillard trade from Portland to Milwaukee. Interesting reporting from Chris Haynes last night. Bleacher Report detailing how messy it got between Dame and the Blazers in advance of this trade getting executed. And Chris presents it as Damian Lillard's version of events. I'm sure you'll read a story from somebody at some point with Portland's version of events, and they'll be slightly different, if not dramatically different. But like I said at the top, this is a situation where everybody was looking out for themselves with little regard for anything else. And anytime you try to end a relationship after 11 years and there's no interest in compromising, you're going to have problems. It's going to get messy. Feelings are going to get hurt. And that is what happened with Damian Lillard and the Portland front office. Eventually, it'll be fine. The front office will move on. The franchise will still be there. Damian Lillard will retire, with a ring or not, and he'll come back and be honored in that building, and everybody will love him. It'll be fine long term. Damian Lillard will have one of the best nights of his life inside that building someday. But right now, there's some hurt feelings. And I think it's easy to understand why. In a vacuum, you can make sense of every individual decision, but with context, I think it's reasonable to say that everybody, for this going down the way it went down, messy, everybody holds some responsibility in that. We could point fingers if we want to, but everybody played a role. Maybe they'll kiss and make up someday. I don't know.
What's today's biggest game?
Big Bet Bennett, you got you a winner last night.
Yeah.
Tonight we're going college football.
Okay.
Number 10, Utah. At number 19, Oregon State. It's in Corvallis. Utah's 4-0.
Yeah.
Oregon State's 3-1. Kick schedule for 8. We're on FS1 tonight. Oregon State minus 4.5. Total is 44.5. You're up 8.4 units after the Lions got you a win last night. How you going to act?
I mean, I know it's two ranked teams playing against each other. It's hard for me to... and Oregon State struggle... Or not Oregon State. Utah struggles to score.
You struggle to score.
Oregon, yeah, that too. Oregon State doesn't seem to have that problem. Utah's number 10 in the country, though.
They are. Underdog on the road, catching 4.5 points with the top 10 team.
I'll take Utah.
Oh,
yeah.
You're not paying attention to funny business. I thought you learned your lesson.
Why is it funny business?
Top 10 team getting 4.5 points. High profile team open the season with victory over Florida. Now you're giving me 4.5 points for the top 10 team? I can't wait to take them. You're going to be on the public side of things. You want to be on the public side of things? You're not recognizing funny business. Let me see if I can get you an Action Network update on what the public's doing tonight.
You might be right, too, because
I know I'm right.
Moved. It was 3.5 this morning.
Yeah. Funny business. They're begging you to take a top 10 team
on the road.
Ask yourself why. Why would they be begging me to do that? In my greatest Brian Windhorst voice, ask yourself why would they be wanting you to do that?
Oregon State just lost. They just lost to Washington State.
Sounds like you're living in the past. You want to keep living in the past? Look at it. Sharp money tonight. You know what the sharp money is?
It's on the Beavers.
Beaver fever.
It's on the Beavers, isn't it?
You didn't recognize funny business. I recognized it immediately. It's funny business. They're begging you to take a top 10 team. Why? Why would they do that?
The decision's been made.
You didn't recognize funny business. Now you're going to pay a price for it.
The decision's been made. I can't go back.
Bennett said he can't go back. Bennett said he can't go back.
The decision's been made.
Utah plus 4.5. Bennett didn't recognize funny business.
What are we watching on TV?
We should be getting new Datelines back next week, or at least very, very soon. You excited about that?
Yeah, I am.
In the absence of Dateline previews, we are reduced to talking about Tone Loc. Do you understand what's happening?
Should I change my pick?
I couldn't care less. Doesn't matter to me at all. You can if you want to, but I don't care.
Because the other thing is, too, is Utah is playing a backup quarterback.
They've been doing that all year. They're 4-0.
They're 4-0 with but they can't score. And Oregon State's got DJ.
You still living in this? It's Food Truck Friday.
No, it's not. That's done. You're not getting that. Nah, the decision's been made.
Bennett said the decision's been made.
It's fine.
All right. What are we watching on TV tonight? SmackDown. Do you see what they did?
I don't think I can watch SmackDown still. I haven't looked at Fox yet, but I'm pretty sure them and Xfinity are still fighting.
Did you see what they did to AJ Styles last week? The Solo Sikoa has lost his mind.
They jumped him. Yeah.
Backstage. Solo came off the top of something.
Mm-hmm.
Solo was way up there. They looked up there. They were like, Solo's way up there. And then he just jumped off.
Oh, so, okay. Wait, when's the pay-per-view is this weekend, right?
Fastlane is the next one. When is Fastlane?
Okay, so now we know who John Cena's mystery opponents or mystery partner is going to be.
Who?
It's going to be AJ Styles.
He's dead.
He'll come back.
No, he died.
He'll show up at the pay-per-view.
Next week? It's next Saturday.
Yeah. He'll have a week to recover, and he'll show up at the pay-per-view as John Cena's mystery partner.
He's dead.
He's going to be back for that, though.
He can't just rise from the dead. Who do you think AJ Styles is? Jesus? You think AJ Styles is Jesus?
He looks like him.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
He's like the redneck Jesus.
Like a redneck Jesus.
Yeah.
No, John Cena's going to have to find a new partner. That's what we're doing tonight. We're trying to find John Cena's new partner because Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso, they're not letting up. Bloodline is, man, they got John Cena good too. Bloodline's something.
They're crazy.
They've lost it.
Yeah.
A little bit.
They need their tribal chief back to get everybody in line.
They used to just walk out, hold up their ones, walk back. Now they just beating up everybody.
He ain't coming back anytime soon.
The tribal chief?
Yeah.
My tribal chief?
He ain't coming back for Fastlane, bro.
No, he's not
Come
coming
on.
back for Fastlane.
he'll be back the Monday or the Friday after Fastlane.
John Cena's partner at Fastlane will be
AJ Styles.
He's dead. Solo killed him.
It'll be AJ Styles.
Solo killed him.
It's just setting up for that.
Who do you think OJ Styles is? Jesus?
Yes.
You think he's Jesus?
Yep.
John Cena's partner will be LA Knight.
I don't know.
They got to keep building this LA Knight dude.
I guess so.
How do you do that? You put him in a ring with John Cena and let him beat up Solo. That's how you do it. You let him get a pin on Solo. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Then Tribal Chief comes back to handle everything. That's the way you do it. I don't know. 7 o'clock tonight. It's on Fox.
What's the best thing we've read?
Well, that Chris Haynes story on Damian Lillard was interesting. It's interesting. It's one-sided, sure. It's Damian Lillard's version of events, but it's interesting. You would call it interesting, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Bennett calls it interesting. So go check that out. You can find it bleacherreport.com.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
What's on tap next week? What's on tap for next week? What's on tap next week? Not tomorrow. We're not going to be here tomorrow.
Well, we will have, as a country, probably lost the Ryder Cup by then.
Oh, yeah. What is going on? What are they doing?
They're having a picnic.
I don't understand what's going on.
No idea.
I have no idea what I'm looking at.
They could do a better job of explaining what you're watching, couldn't they?
Those dudes are all sitting on the grass having a picnic. Somebody's doing the 4-up. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on.
It's confusing, Bennett. I understand. I understand what you're going through. Poor Max Homa just missed another putt.
Yeah.
These guys.
Oh, yeah.
What an embarrassment to our country.
Yeah, that's pathetic.
We're going to have to move to Europe.
Yep.
We're going to have to move to Europe if we want to celebrate.
Uh-huh.
On Monday, it's Grizzlies Media Day.
Yes, it is.
You fired up about that?
I am fired up. Ready to get this thing rolling.
We're not going to have normal shows on Monday.
No.
How you feel about that?
Scared.
You're scared?
No.
What would you be scared of?
I'm just scared of change.
I really struggle with change. I struggle with anything that, like, you see how depressed I got when we had technical difficulties?
Yeah, I did. I thought I was going to come pick you up off the table.
I know it's nobody's fault. If it's not clear, I know it's nobody's fault. But anytime change, anytime something doesn't go the way it's supposed to go, I shut down. I think it's part of me being autistic. We've come to the conclusion that I'm on the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime something doesn't go the way it's supposed to go, I struggle with it.
No, I'm excited.
I could have a meltdown.
The other reason I'm excited, we got new Grizzlies to meet.
Who do you want to meet?
Derrick Rose.
I know. I've been knowing him.
Memphis legend.
I've known him for 15, 20 years.
Marcus Smart.
Known him
one
for
of my
10
favorite
years.
Players in the league.
Known Marcus Smart for 10 years. I've met all these people.
Yeah, I'm excited,
Who
man.
do I need to meet?
New faces, new places. I like it.
I don't need to meet nobody. Hope it goes smoothly.
Yeah, it'll go great.
Hope we don't have technical difficulties.
We're not. Don't put that in there.
All right, let me give you the schedule. Can I give them the
what's
schedule?
going on? Yes, yes. What are we doing for Media Day on Monday?
So we're going to be live.
Yep.
From 11 to about 3:30.
Mm-hmm.
All right? So if you come here at 8 in the morning looking for Jessica Benson,
she ain't going to be here.
She'll probably still be hungover with her little friends.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Yep.
She'll probably still have her head on a pillow, all hungover. All right? She ain't going to be here at 8 o'clock. She's going to show up at 11, though. And it's going to be Jessica, CJ.
Yep.
Who I like to refer to as the Joe Burrow of producers.
Yes.
Pete Pranica and Mike Wallace. That's a star-studded lineup right there.
That is a damn good star-studded lineup right there.
All right, let's look at all the teams and let's see who you would pick.
Yeah, okay.
Who's your favorite team?
Because we have 3 teams, right?
We have 3 teams.
Okay, we have 3
so
teams.
That team 1,
okay,
from 11 to 12:30, that's Jessica Benson, CJ Hurt, Pete Pranica, Mike Wallace. That's strong.
That's a really strong lineup.
That's strong. Team 2, That's us.
Yeah.
We're coming from 12:30 to about 2.
Yep.
You going to be ready to go at 12:30?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's going to be me and you,
Yep.
Jarvis Greer, and Lang Whitaker.
See, let's hear the last one. I would definitely put us last if not for Memphis legend Jarvis Greer.
What the fuck? That's Jarvis Greer.
Yeah, well, careful.
That's Jarvis Greer.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
what are you saying?
Like, before I heard Jarvo's name, I was like, oh, we're up against
You have no faith in me, you and Lang.
No, none.
That's not good.
None. We would be the last place team. But you throw in Jarvo.
We have no diversity. Me, you, and Lang.
No, of course not.
Just middle-aged white guys.
Average white dudes
Just
on this
average
team.
middle-aged white guys.
Right. But you put in Jarvo, we got Memphis royalty.
Memphis royalty.
Yeah.
That's a legend.
Yeah.
That's an icon.
Yeah.
Jarvis Greer is a star.
Yeah.
All right? So that he built our team up. He's the star of our team. Can we admit
I like
that?
where we're standing right now.
All right. Now, team 3, the last team.
Yep.
John Roser,
Mhm.
Rob Fisher, Kelsey Wright Johnson.
Well, I did
That's
say
2 to 3:30.
I did say Roser was the Tom Brady of producers.
And Kelsey's the Tom Brady of promos. She's in all the promos.
She's in all the promos. She might be the best on the mic. I mean,
She might be the best on the mic. And she's the best with promos.
and then he got Fish.
And she has 50 pair of shoes in there.
Yeah, I know.
I've never seen so
She
many
got
shoes.
everything.
She's got everything.
People sending her packages in the mail every day.
People can't stop sending her stuff. I walk by my sad desk every day. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Kelsey has packages every day.
Okay.
She just opens packages. I feel like I have watched Kelsey open more packages than my own kids.
Yes, same.
Every day is like Christmas morning with Kelsey. She is opening packages nonstop.
Okay, so what team is the best? What's number one? I got to be honest.
Be honest.
I think it might be the first team.
Jessica, CJ, Pete, and Mike.
Yeah.
They have men and women.
Mm-hmm. It's a diverse group.
It's a diverse group. They check a lot of boxes.
They check a lot of. You got people that like multifaceted, right? Like you got 4 people that can do a lot of different things.
You did.
Yeah. I think they might be number one. It pains me to say it. I think they might be number one. And they're kicking the damn thing off. Hopefully people stick around for us.
Who do you want to trade to improve our team? You want to propose a trade?
No, I don't want to propose a trade. We're underdogs. I'm sticking with my team.
We might trade you, Bennett.
Yeah, no one wants me. If we were picking, if we were like just doing a draft.
I feel like if I could trade you for Kelsey, it's over.
I'd be picked last.
Me?
I would be picked last.
Jarvis, Lang, and Kelsey?
Star-studded.
I feel like that one we could get something done.
I'd be picked last. There's no doubt about it. I'm not even going to argue the point. But.
I'm going to propose a trade right now.
Okay.
I would like to trade you for Kelsey on Monday.
Okay.
Who do I need to talk to?
You could probably get that done.
I had no input in these. Can't we do this like the NBA All-Star game where like me and Vernon and Jess get to pick?
Vernon's not even going to be here.
Where's he at, by the way?
I don't know. How are you not here for freaking media day, Verno? What the hell?
I'm assuming he has other responsibilities.
I believe he does, yes.
All right? I'm assuming he has other responsibilities, but I don't know that.
Yeah.
I don't know. We should have got to pick our teams. Who would you have made your first pick?
I'm not saying.
If you could have picked your own team.
Everyone's equal.
If you could pick your own team, who would you pick?
I'm not.
You would. It sounded like you picked Jarvis first, which I don't blame you, but that's what it sounded like to me. Which I understand, but that's what I heard.
I've looked up to Jarvo for a long time.
Everybody's looked up to Jarvo for a long time.
I mean, that dude's been.
No, let me be sincere for a second. Instead of just always goofing around. I grew up watching Jarvis Greer.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
He was in my home and everybody else's home. And then as a college student, I got to meet Jarvis Greer and be around Jarvis Greer. And you know what he did? He treated me like I was anything other than just a college student. The nicest man in the world. However sometimes you can watch people on TV or on podcasts and you go, oh man, I bet I love that person. And sometimes they're not who you think they are, right?
Right.
Jimmy Fallon, Ellen.
That's what they say.
That's what they say.
I met Jimmy Fallon though, and he was great.
He was great to you.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't work for him.
That's true. That's true.
Who's my other guy? James Corden.
Oh yeah, he went through it too.
If all you did was watch James Corden
man.
On TV, you'd be like, that's a nice heavy set guy. That's a nice heavy set fella. But apparently, behind the scenes, he's difficult to get along with, right? Sometimes you can get the wrong impression of somebody. Just watch him on TV, think you know him. Not Jarvis Greer.
Right.
Whatever you think of Jarvis Greer, that's exactly what you get from Jarvis Greer.
Yes.
Nicest man in the world.
Yep.
If I ever hear somebody say something negative about Jarvis Greer, I'll punch him right in the throat.
Yeah.
On sight.
Yep.
On sight. All right?
Yeah.
So you'd pick Jarvis first. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
But no, I mean, we're going to have a lot of the players coming through.
Who would you pick first, Rob or Kelsey?
Stop. I'm not doing it.
If you
I'm
could
not,
only have one on your team, Rob or Kelsey?
I'm not picking.
Or Lang?
I'm not picking. I like them all equally.
There's no way you like all of them equally.
That's fine. Well, you're never going to know my answer because I'm not picking.
Who do you like more?
Just stop, dude.
Kelsey or
we
Jessica?
We got to wrap this thing up.
I just want to ask you.
I know you do.
To rank
I'm
people.
Not playing. You've been doing this all week, and I'm done. It's Friday. I'm out of here, bro.
I just want you to rank coworkers.
No.
It's time to go.
It's time to
I've
go.
had enough of this.
Monday, 11 a.m.
Monday, 11 a.m. It'll be what Bennett thinks is the best team ever assembled to put together a podcast on Media Day.
Download the GCM app.
That's at 11 o'clock. And then we'll come in as the back, we'll come in as no better than the second best team.
We'll do our best.
We'll do our best. I got Jarvis. It's a good place to start.
Yeah.
If I could trade Bennett for Kelsey, I feel like we could take it to another level. But I'm going to keep you, Bennett. I want you to be on my team. All right?
Thank you.
But you're limiting what we can do.
I know. I know. Trust me, I know.
Enjoy your weekend. I'm going to enjoy mine. Maybe. We'll meet back here Monday at 11?
I'll see you then.
I'll see you then. I'll see you at 12:25, buddy. I'll see you at 12:25. Till then, be careful. Be kind, be good. Rep your hood.